Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production, and today I'm going to be showing how you can create a patch that can do Alan Holdsworth clean sound and lead sound in one, and blend smoothly between them. And before I showed you how to do the clean sound, which if you haven't checked out that video, watch that, and I showed you how to do the dirty sound, but now we're going to combine them both. So let's get started. So first thing I have here is I probably want to listen to something while I'm adjusting things. So let's add a looper here. I'm going to turn off follow host playback. And I'm just going to record something so I can use that as kind of a reference while I'm changing the various parameters. So let's record something clean, Holdsworth-ish, I guess. Okay, let's hear it. Make sure it plays back. I kind of messed up that last part. I rolled my finger on the fret, but that's okay for this. So let's just add the amp here. Ooh, make sure. Turn my volume down so it doesn't get too hissy. And what we're going to use is we're going to use the Bradford Chap. I showed you this before. This is a really good one for Alan Holdsworth stuff that I made. Let's use the cabinet here. Use the exact same one, Bradford Chap. Now let's play our looper. Actually, we can pop this out. And we're going to adjust the cabinet first, like this. Maybe someplace in the middle is good. Let's adjust the amp. Now I think this is all right. Now we really want that Holdsworth sound, so what we're going to do is use the ERs here. ER, perfect. So we have this here. We're not going to use the normal early reflections, the ERs here. We're going to use Fusion 1 here. What we're going to do is just leave it here. We might adjust the wet dry, but what we really want to change is the modulation amount and probably the modulation rate. So let's play it and come up with something that sounds good. Okay. And last one is our reverb. So let's just add that to add a little bit of tail there. I like the hall. I want to move the length down to maybe about in the middle there. We can leave the dampening. Let's just hear what this sounds like. That's sounding pretty good to me. So I think for the most part, we have our clean sound. You can test it if you want with your own guitar. If that's sounding good to you, we can stop with the basic tonal stuff set up here. We're going to move this here, and we're just going to add a wah volume. Now, I thought I showed you this before in the previous videos, and we're going to use this to create volume swell. So let's set this to volume. We can turn our guitar on, and you'll notice there is a volume difference like this. So let's turn it down. And that seems about right. Of course, set that to your own taste. You can have it boosting it a little bit if you want. That's up to you. But now let's actually control the volume swell using a MIDI controller. I have a Behringer FCB1010, but you can use whatever you want. We need another track here called MIDI, like this. Make sure you have that set for your MIDI input. Let's see here. I might actually have some already set up. I'm not sure if I do already. Yeah, I already have this set up. But if you don't, for whatever reason, I actually have two of them. Don't need that. Depending on your DAW, it will be a little bit different. But first, I would turn this on, hit a button on your MIDI controller, and see if something comes out here to make sure you're receiving signals. Then, in the case of Reaper, just drag this over here, and it should go directly in. And you should see it light up for both of them here, like that. And this will depend on your DAW, how you set this up. All you have to do is make sure you're sending MIDI from whatever track you have into MGuitararchitect. Now that we have that, let's finish up this. What we need to do is modulate this here. So we're going to click Clear and Learn, move this all the way up and all the way down. We'll label the name Volume Swells. Volume Swell, I guess. And that should be controlling this now. And I might want to set it at 100% by default, just for those people that don't have volume controllers, so that way if you open it, it does actually make sounds. And the last thing we want to do is hook up our MIDI. So we're going to go in here, MIDI Learn. So we have Volume Swell, and it's on Learn. So just hit a foot controller on your actual MIDI controller. Turn Learn off. Okay, so now when I use my volume pedal, it should go from 0 to 100, like this. Okay, there we go. So let's hear it. Okay, it's working. I apologize. My foot's kind of in a weird position here. I'm using my left foot, and it's have to kind of turn here. So sorry if my voice is fading in and out because of that. Anyways, now we have this. We're looking pretty good for our sounds, for clean sounds at least. Now let's go to a dirty sound. What we're going to do is we're just going to copy this first amp here, and we're going to paste it here. I'm going to do something a little bit crazy, but hang on, hang with me here. So I'm going to turn off one. I'm going to move this cabinet over, pop it out, and go to the toolbar. So you see here we have A and B. I'm going to copy this from A, move over to B, and just paste it. Now I'm going to play something just so I can kind of hear the sound, and I'm going to move this to the area that I think sounds good. So let's try it. Actually, first things first, change this one to something else. I want to change this to lead number 1. Let's hear it. Not sounding too good. Change this down to lead for now. Adjust these settings. Actually, what I probably should do is use a looper again, like this. Actually, number 1 thing I should do is use a noise gate, because this is going to get noisy. Let's stick that on there. 1. There we go. Now, probably going to record something in here for kind of a lead sound. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So we have our lead sound, have our cabinet here. Let's move around these lead sounds here like this as we play it. Okay, and let's try moving around the cabinet. Okay. So we have that. Let's pop that out again. Let's do the same thing with the ER. I'll move this over. I'm going to copy it, move it over here, paste it, so we have the same thing. Let's play it, and we're probably going to use the exact same thing, just change the modulation amount here. Okay, that's all right. And last one, we're going to do the same thing with the reverb. Toolbar out, copy, and paste. Let's hear it. Sounds pretty good, but that's a little bit too much reverb. Let's try turning this down. Sounded pretty good to me. Let's play it and see. Seems all right. I might want to change a little bit of this, maybe by turning down treble. Seems all right. Maybe. I'll leave it there. So, of course, you can adjust that however you want. Sometimes you might find that, these controls aren't even enough. Maybe you want to use a EQ module here. That's fine. Now, you might be wondering, okay, how are you going to blend this, though? What we want to do is we want to have a ratio in here, and then we're going to change the cabinets around. So, first thing I'll do is turn this back on, add our ratio here. Have this input 1, this one input 2, and we're going to steal the sidechain. So now nothing's going through there to number 2. We have all these here. What I want to do first of all is I want to make another multi-parameter here, number 2, with blend. So we have our ratio. Let's click clear and learn. Move the ratio up and down. And we'll call this clean/lead. Okay. And I actually want to do this with banks mode, and you'll kind of see why in a second. So we have banks here. We're going to set this to 2. I'm going to name this clean. We're going to name the other one lead. You don't have to use banks mode, but I'm doing it this way just because it's maybe a little bit more clear for me. Let's see here. And yeah, I can use it, leave it on percentage, I guess. Now for this, I want the ratio for clean at 0%, this at 100%, and make sure it's interpolating values here. So let's do this. This should be 100% clean. Okay, and that's our lead, and you can blend between them as you can see. So the next thing I want to do is everything's okay, but our cabinet isn't really in the right place. I'm going to pop this out for a second just so it's easier to see. So we have this one too. It's maybe at the very bottom and between E and A. This one is at the top here. What I want to do is I want to have it blend between these two. So I'm going to click here, just learn, not clear and learn because we don't want to clear anything. Just learn, and we're going to move this a little bit. There. Got it. Okay. Now we go in here, make sure it's at 100% clean, or yeah, maybe 0% here. Now we have the X parameter. I didn't do that right. I want the X and the Y. So make sure click learn. I'm going to move it not just side to side, but side to side and up and down. So just move it a little bit. So that way I have X and Y parameters. Now here it's just at 50%, which is not what we want. We want it to have this value. So what I want to do is just click this little save icon, and this is going to set these to this value. There we go. That's perfect. Make sure you have this at 0% when you do this for your clean sound. Now we're going to do the same thing for the lead sound. So let's see, where was our lead? Here. I'm going to leave it on A, but I'm just going to move it down to this position. So that should be about the same. Actually, make sure I change this to 100% lead. Okay, see, now it's in the middle. But if I remember correctly, this was here. Now I'm going to do the same save procedure there. Now, when I go from clean to lead, it will move between these two parameters. That's perfect. Now we're going to do the same thing for the other values. So I had this on 1. So this is very easy. I'll just click Learn. This is at 52%, 0%. Good. So my clean is at, make sure I have this, 52%. And this is at 0%. So we have our clean, 52%, lead, 0%. And last, for our reverb, this is at maybe 18%. This is at 25%. Click it a little bit there and do the exact same thing. So here we have 25 and 18. So now these should blend between these and move all of these different parameters. You can do these with almost anything. Be careful with a few things though, such as like the length. The length, if I move it while I'm playing, while audio is going through, it'll sound weird like this. Actually, that didn't sound that weird. Let me try it again. Okay, you can hear a little bit of clicking. Let me see if there's any other one I can do. Some of the parameters are fine, the ones I did here, but some of them, if you're using a delay or something, it's going to sound like weird bending, so you may not want that. I'm surprised, actually, in this case, the length didn't change it as much as I thought it would. But you have to be a little bit careful with that. Anyways, as I was saying, we have our lead here. Down. And I noticed there that our lead is a little bit louder, so all I want to do is just take my volume down a few decibels here. See if this is better. That's sounding better. And of course, blend that to taste. Here, it's set at a blend of 50% as the default. I might want to just move this all the way down to 0 as the default. That way you're not kind of in the middle. And for the most part, this is it. The last thing we might want to do is set this as a foot controller. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Click MIDI Learn, and we're going to hit a pedal, another pedal on our MIDI controller. Turn it off. And now this should blend between them like this. There we go. So that's easy. One other thing that sometimes I might want to do here is I don't really like this blend because I feel like the distorted sound comes in a little bit too fast here, like this. It seems like just a little bit into there, maybe, 40%? I'm hearing mostly distorted sounds, or even here. So to get that to blend a little bit smoother, or smoother in my opinion, is to use, instead of the constant power, use the linear. So that's just my personal preference, but of course you can change that as you like. So by doing this, you can easily blend between a lead sound and a clean sound, and you don't have to sacrifice anything like, oh, I'm not getting enough modulation on my clean sound, or, oh, a cabinet doesn't sound good. You can blend it like this. Now, of course, if you thought I want to use 2 different cabinets, I would probably use the cabinets before the ratio. So anything that you want 2 completely different things, put them before this ratio module. Anything that you want shared, put it after the ratio module, like the reverb or the ER. So by doing this, you can easily blend 2 sounds together. Technically, you could probably do even more than 2, but I think 2 is maybe enough, at least for me. Maybe you're different. So if you like this, give me a thumbs up, leave me any questions or comments down below, and check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.